pump it up. Pump it up. I don't care how you feeling. Pump it up. This is the Cool Girls Book Club. Get that energy up. Get your love up. Get me up. Get the dick up. Nah, what up, y'all? What up, what up? We are reading with the Crawdad sing. We are reading from part 2 to chapter 45. Now, I hope y'all been reading because it is getting crazy. And it's a very easy read. Like, let's be honest. It's a very easy read. And it's good. Right? So last time we talked, y'all know who I am, right? It's your girl Shy from Gurrltalk, Cool Girls Book Club. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. Shout out to all my YouTube. Shout out to everybody on the podcast. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody in real life. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to you. Shout out to you and you and you and you. Don't. Everybody got a shout out. Anyways, right? With the Crawdad thing, last time we left off, Kaya got her heart broken by Tate and, and he was coming back and she was lonely. So now part 2, my girl don't find her another man, right? She found her another man named Chase Andrews. He's super popular in the town, but he is no good. He is no good like the rest of them. Nah, not like the rest of them, but he is no good. Part 2 starts off in 1965. Kaya is now 19 years old, so it's been about 9 years from part 1 to part 2. It's been about 9 years, and she's still by herself. She's still living on a swamp. Let's not forget that part. And she sees a group of friends that she remembers seeing when she was younger. It's the same group of friends. If you got the same group of friends from 10 years ago, raise your hand. She ends up dating Chase Andrews, who's very popular. He also hang out with those group of friends. He says he loves her, but sometimes he disappears for weeks. He disappears and don't come back because she doesn't leave the marsh. She doesn't leave her home. Like, she always stays there. And he knows that she's never really going to come into town. So he leaves her, comes back, like he just do what he want to do. Remember, she has no other friends but the Seagulls. She had Tate. He left. She had her family. They left. Now she got Chase Andrews. Tate, her first love, who hasn't seen her in 5 years, is back from college. And he's trying to see her. He's trying to talk to her. But she's like, nah, I got me a new man. You left for 5 years. You said you was coming back. You said you was going to be back on Christmas break. It's been 5 Christmases done came. And you just coming back. He tries to warn her about Chase. Like I said, Chase is super popular. So he's like, yo, like, he be in the town with other girls. Like, he does this. And she like, nah. You left for 5 years. I don't really care what you say. Chase loves me. He never left me. Yes, he may leave for some days, but he comes back. She sees it with Chase. He tries to warn her, but Chase, he's a player. She don't want to hear that. One day she reads in the local newspaper that Chase is getting married. See, in their town, Chase, it was like, he's a star football player. He's very popular. The town is small, so it's in the local newspaper that, hey, Chase Andrews is getting married. So when she hears about it, she's super heartbroken. Like, wait, what? He said we was going to get married. He said this, he said that. Like, he spent New Year's with me. He said all this stuff. And now I'm reading that he's getting married. Imagine how you would feel. Tate knows that he messed up, right? Tate knows that he messed up. Tate knows that he should have came back, but Tate was really in school doing his thing, and he mentioned that he didn't think that she would fit in that kind of social life. And he realized that he was wrong. And he realized that he didn't care about her fitting in his life. He just wanted to fit in her life. So as a way to, win her back, he studied, what's the word? He studied science, right? So he takes her whole, remember I told you she collects feathers and she collects all this stuff from outside in the swamp and she places it neatly. She marks them, the time, like she's super organized with it. And guess what? He gets somebody to publish a book about feathers and learning everything. So now my girl is making money from something that just came easy to her, something that she was just doing from being bored. She's making money now and she's able to buy the land that she lived on. She went to the bank or whatever. They said, oh, it was $800. Nobody's been paying the taxes. If you don't pay it by this week, you're done. My girl went to the bank and got her money and came back the same day, and now she owed her land. So shout out to the hard workers out here, right? Because you never know when you gonna need, when that hard work will pay off. So now she owns her land. She's happy. You know, her and Tate is cool. They're not boyfriend and girlfriend because she still can't like trust him yet. But they cool. She does not mess with Chase Andrews no more. And he's heartbroken. You know how boys are. He's heartbroken. He wanted his cake and eat it too. So he sees her on the boat one day, and you know, they pull over boats, and he actually tries to rape her. He tries to rape her like, I miss you, da da da. But remember, she grew up in the wild. So she knees him, punches him, and she gets away. 2 days later, Chase Andrews is dead, right? Chase Andrews is dead. He fell from the tree. He's gone. So now Kaya is the #1 suspect. Kaya's the #1 suspect, but she has an alibi. Her editor invited her to come to the city, I think it was like Raleigh, to come and visit. He wanted to meet her face to face because she never leaves the marsh. So she would just submit her work through the mail, and they never met face to face. So she finally decided to go meet him, and this is the time where Chase Andrews died. So she's trying to say, like, how y'all gonna say I killed him and I wasn't even here? But Chase Andrews is missing a necklace. And it's the necklace that Kaya gave to him. So his mother's like, no, he wore that necklace everywhere. If he died, he would have died with that necklace on. Why don't he have the necklace? What happened to the necklace? Like, and everybody else is just kind of like, well, it could have came off. You know what I mean? Or maybe he did take it off some days. How are you supposed to know? So right now, Kaya's in jail. Kaya's in jail, and she's going through trial. And that's where we at right now. Do you think she did it? Do you think she did it? Do you think Kaya killed Chase for trying to rape her? I feel like when people grow up certain ways, you gotta leave them alone. And somebody grew up in the wild, you know what I mean? And somebody grew up in where if somebody say something wrong, you just get punched in the face. You gotta know these people, because not saying that he was playing, because rape is never nothing to play about, but he thought he was so tough and so strong. I don't know if she did it. But look, now he's dead. I wanted to read the last page of one of the chapters, page 292. All right. It's Kaya and Tate. This is where you should be at right now. And if you read further and you finished the book, let me know how you feel about it. Don't tell everybody what happened though. Don't tell everybody what happened. But write in my comments. Write me if you feel like there's some questions that I should have asked. You know what I mean? Or some questions that you want to see how other people react to it. Write me. Let me know. Conversationswithshy@gmail. You know my Instagram. Gurrltalk at Instagram. YouTube official_Gurrltalk. There's a lot of ways to get in touch with me. So if you read it, or if you're reading it and you want some things answered and you want to talk about it, hit the girl up. Page 291. I was in court sitting right behind. This is Tate talking. I was in court, Kaya, sitting right behind you. You never turned around, so I didn't know if you knew that. But I'll be there every day. She looked out the window. Tom Milton's very good, Kaya. Probably the best lawyer in the state. He'll get you out. Just hang on. When again she didn't speak, he continued. As soon as you're out of here, we'll go back exploring lagoons like the old days. Tate, please. You have to forget me. We'll never forget you, Kaya. You know I'm different. I don't fit in with other people. I cannot be a part of your world. Please, can't you understand? I'm afraid to be close with anybody ever again. I don't blame you, but Tate, listen to me. For years, I longed to be with people. I really believed that somebody would stay with me, that I would actually have friends and family, be a part of a group, but no one stayed. Not you or one member of my family. Now I finally learned how to deal with that and how to protect myself. But I can't talk about this now. I appreciate you coming to see me in here. I do. And maybe someday we can be friends. But I think what's about to come next, not in here. Okay, I understand. Really, I do. After a short silence, he continued. The great horns are already calling. She nodded, almost smiled. Oh, and yesterday at your place, you won't believe it, but a male Cooper's hawk landed right on your front steps. Finally a smile as she thought about the coop. One of her many private memories. Yes, I believe it. 10 minutes later, Jacob said their time was up and Tate had to leave. Kaya thanked him for coming. I'll keep feeding the girls, Kaya, and I'll bring you some books. She shook her head and followed Jacob. So what's going on right now in this part is that Tate has been wanting to see Kaya. She's in jail, but she don't want to see nobody. She don't want to talk to nobody. And Tate finally gets a chance to see her, and he wants to tell her, like, I'm feeding your birds, like the birds is coming by, like I still got you. But it's really hard when somebody breaks your heart, been away for 5 years, and now you're in jail to even figure out what they say. And I feel like that's what happens a lot of times, is that people be going through their own things or having their own pressures, and still you continue with your own. You still tell the person what you need from them, right? Even though they got all this going on, and it's like, yo, right now is not really the right time to even bring up relationships, to bring up something like, I'm fighting for my life, and you want to talk about maybe we could go to the Cooper's nest. Like, boy, like, not today, not right now. You already left me for 5 years. It's hard. And like she said, everybody left her. Like, how would you feel if a guy left you? Have you ever been in a relationship when somebody did you wrong or did something wrong and they was apologetic and trying to make it better? Did you accept the apology? Did you go back with them? Once you did get back with them, did they go back to doing what they was doing, or did it change? What does it take for you to accept somebody back in your life? Friends, lovers. I feel like with lovers and stuff like that, they could do more wrong than your friends can do, and you stay with them. But if your friends do something wrong, I feel like we react to it more, and it's probably because we're more comfortable, maybe because y'all been friends longer, maybe because you expect your friend to not do certain things. And I had that issue before, and we're friends to this day, and everything is good. I do feel like people sometimes mess up or have like a brain fart, and once you say how you feel and what happened, and it all depends on their response. And if they receive it and they change, I'm good. But if they hear it and keep doing the same thing, that's like a whole different story. So my friend, she got me mad. Something happened, and I wasn't talking to her. Not that I was never going to talk to her. I was just a little mad, And she wrote me like, oh, you're really not talking to me. But when these other people do something wrong to you, you be their friends. But me, you still not talking to me. And I had to tell her, like, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're coming from. But first of all, I don't let nobody play me. So don't compare me to the other girls. But it's like, when you have a friend and a real friend, and you telling them your secrets, and they know how you feel, and y'all just have a certain relationship, when they do certain things, it kind of hurts more. And I think that's what it is. A relationship with somebody new, or even 2-3 years, compared to a friendship for 20-30 years, it's like, but you know what I mean? But and we talked about it, and me and her is good now. But she did say that to me, and that was the first time somebody said that to me, like, oh, you, and I'm like, what? Nah, and they ain't never did that to me. So you did something nobody else did. So I can't even compare that experience. But nah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to second chances. Shout out to making things better, and making it stay that way. Nobody's perfect, and things do happen. So let's do it. But yeah, so that was Tate visiting Kaya. He finally got to see her. He's super excited. I have some questions. Would you take back? Would you take Tate back? He out there feeding her seagulls. He out there working hard. I think after the trial, it'll be something that I thought about. When they say in your toughest times, that's when you realize who's really there for you. So, I think that's one of those things. Should everyone get a second chance? I feel like it depends on what it is. Humans are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And people do make mistakes, but it's about, you know, not keep making those mistakes, you know? What do you think happened to Chase? What do y'all think happened to Chase? Do y'all think she killed him? Like, do you think she killed him? Because she really was out of town. She really was out of town. But what they trying to say is that she knows the marsh so well that who knows what she could have did. Like, she lives there. Like, nobody knows that area better than her. But she's saying, like, I was 2 hours away. How can I come back and kill somebody and then go back? Like, that don't make no sense. But they like, anything is possible, sweetheart. Have you ever believed someone when the lies was in your face? Like her and Chase, right? He's always leaving. She knew he's one of the cool kids. But when he's around her, he treats her good. He like bought her harmonica. He like plays songs to her. And you know, she fell for him, and